We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We are deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. That sound means you're back on the air with the restaurant brokers, Eric and Robin Gagnon, and we are talking restaurant reality. Great show today. We talked about events at restaurants, and I don't know what could use a better dose of reality than restaurant events, Eric, because if I see one more karaoke night, I think I'm going to cry.
I agree, Robin. This has been very interesting, very enlightening. And before we even get into it, I want to thank again Jennifer Jackson Outlaw, Alan Muscat, Dora Herrera, and Fernando Lopez for their guidance and share their wisdom today. They had some great advice. They're doing some great ideas, and no wonder all of them are successful in their business right now.
And they're just sitting down. And they said, Fernando said that. He said, pull together a committee and start brainstorming some ideas for great events, because there is so much more opportunity. I mean, who would think that someone would develop a whole business model like Alan did by saying there are mushrooms out in the woods. I'm going to teach people to go out there, pick those edible food products, and then take it to a chef. The chef will make that appetizer, and then they'll stay for dinner the rest of the meal. Amazing, right?
Brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant. And, again, we hear a lot of common themes, again, sharing, education. If you're in a city and you're not, maybe you're doing okay, but, you want to go to the next level. And every night you drive by, one of your, I guess, called a competitor for right now down the road, and they're busy. Maybe you want to partner with them and say, hey, how can we get an event together? Maybe we have some sort of interactive dinner. We heard Jennifer doing that today where, I can have the main course and you can have the appetizers, and we'll come back for dessert or something like that, and we have like a green vehicle, like a limousine golf cart or some kind of funny limousine to take you around. But start working with people around you that are successful instead of trying to say, well, how do I get them out of business? Well, odds are you're probably not going to do that because people are responding very well. So how do you find out to learn from them and share with them?
I love that idea because it really is trying to look beyond that competitive set and say, how do I bring more people and just raise the volume of individuals coming to my neighborhood or coming to my area or taking advantage of different types of food. And I think that it's very, very important that you don't just look across and say, yeah, that's a competitor. And, we say this all the time, 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So Correct. Imagine a Monday night, you don't have barely any business. If you can traffic the door for, a third of a $50 share, and you do the entree and somebody else is doing dessert and someone else is doing appetizers, you've just exposed a whole new clientele to your business.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about creating outside of maybe your core business. I mean, if you're more of a sports bar, maybe more of a club, or you have a lot of alcohol, what about a great idea to bring a chef, maybe a very famous chef from another town, bring him over, cook a special dinner, make a special event for your customer one night, feed them along with the alcohol, and have something different. You can be a sports bar, but that doesn't mean you can't have a famous chef to come over and have your diners be treated.
Can do a whole menu around bourbon, and you can serve bourbons. You can have a meal that is accompanied by bourbon steak and bourbon sauces, and you can just take it anywhere you want to take it. It's up in your mind to visualize and create these events, because people will come for an event when they're tired of your restaurant. That's a reinvention without having to go out and hire a decorator, without having to revamp your entire menu. And it also gives you a chance, You can test. And Eric, we talk about this. It's okay to fail. You can fail on a menu that you put together for a special event. And what are you out? You're out one night. You haven't just reworked your entire menu and changed your whole food cost model. It's one night. And then you go and keep experimenting till you find the one that does work. Yeah,
and if you get 30 people on a Tuesday night when you usually get 15, you're our winner. I mean, even if you didn't think that was a big success, I mean, you've got to look at it. And marketing your events seems to be a very key component. I mean, everybody thinks you go on social media, you put it out there, put 25 cents on wings on Facebook, and by tonight you got a line out the door. Newsflash, no, it's not going to happen. You got to be more creative, like attract partners, bloggers. I mean, Jennifer is a blogger. Go to key people in the area, vendors, suppliers. Your customers are your best salespeople. Share them, not just by an email or a tweet or something like that. You got to do more than that. Your sales team, which aka also known as servers, should be promoting your events. Tabletops. Let people know about your event in so many different ways, and then take reservations, takes name. I mean, so you know what people are coming, but you have to work to market that, right?
Well, and the reality is, don't start this without a plan. And we're talking about a business model. So Fernando said it, cover your costs. Make sure you understand what your costs are going to be up front. Set a goal for the event. How many customers do you want now? Do you want to bounce them back and give them 20% off a dinner if they come back after the event is over? What is your pricing model going to be? Who can you get to partner with you? What beer distributorship? What alcohol distributorship? What food vendor would want to come in? If you want to do a Maine lobster night, can you get a supplier to help you on that pricing so that you're creating something going in? This is my business model. This is my expected sales. This is my cost of goods sold. These are my marketing and other expenses, and I'm anticipating this kind of profit. And then measure against those numbers. Fix what didn't work. Go back, do it again, and improve the profitability.
Yeah, be creative. I love what Dora said about make your own event, make your own holiday, make your own day of, whatever it is.
I'm telling you, I'm ready for Restaurant Broker Day.
I know. I think it'd be, buy a restaurant day. I think it'd be a great day for us, Robin, to have something like that. But, I mean, you can create your own thing. Look at the events today. I know one operator that's done a phenomenal job keeping, up to date with current events. And every time there's a current events, they find a way. I remember when there was an incident involving dog abuse and things like that, and they have little mechanical dogs, and they have a little ring in there, and they have mechanical dog fight, and all the money raised that night was for the Humane Society to save dogs. And I mean, they made on a Tuesday night, they made over $15,000 in a night would usually barely break $1,000.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of creativity and thinking you've got to bring to this business, because the same old, the reality is it's not going to give you a lift. What you're looking for is something that lifts sales above the same time last year. In order to get that, you got to bring in a whole lot of creativity and not so much money sometimes, maybe some partners, lots of different ways to do it. We had a million great ideas today.
And the reality of this, if you ask me, if you focus on that, creating an event, make people come to your front door, you may not be the greatest operator right now. Maybe your food cost is a little higher than you want it to be. Maybe your labor is a little harder than you want it to be because you're tender and you don't want to get rid of some people and everything. But if you keep growing the sales, all the rest of it will come into play at the right number. So if you focus on sales, and a lot of you are not willing to do that. A lot of you want to focus on, how do I get cheaper wings? How do I get cheaper labor? Focus on sales. And I'm telling you, you will survive, you will thrive, and you will be a very happy operator.
Okay, and speaking of being a happy operator, I've got a couple of listings. I got to just a 4-minute talk about it because I have got something in St. Augustine Beach, Florida, which is a great part of Florida. If you haven't been there, and this particular restaurant's about 6,500 square feet. It's brand new, open 7 days, fantastic patio, fun in the sun in Florida. If you're interested in this one, it's on our website, listing number 4335, and it's on the market for $129,000, Eric.
It's always sunny. Weather's always around 80 degrees. It rains from 4 to 4:15 every day, and that's it. About 4:30, it's dry. It's a wonderful place to be.
Great state for business, too. No state income tax personally. Love that.
And if you don't like the sun, the sand, and the beach, we have something in the mountains.
That's right.
You
can go to Colorado, and we have got an incredible opportunity inside a regional airport. This is great because the rent is super, super cheap. And so it's a deal with the airport. You end up being sort of an amenity for them. And everybody always wants to know, how do I get into an airport business? Well, start in this regional airport that's about 20 miles from downtown Denver. This is a bar and grill. It's the only food service place in the entire regional airport that's catering to private and charter planes. And it's on the market for $149,000 from our franchisee in Colorado.
Beautiful. Full bar. You can have people waiting. They can have a cocktail and everything. Call a franchise in Colorado. Listing number 4332 on WeSellRestaurants.com.
That's not all you'll find on WeSellRestaurants.com. This and former episodes of the Restaurant Brokers Radio Show can be found online, along with our great blog, up-to-the-minute details on all of our listing, articles, and much more. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We are the Restaurant Brokers. Join us next week at the same time.